Hey there, RMLC. With your help, we are planting a new Lutheran church for the coastal suburbs between Rockingham and Mandurah. And one of the biggest supporters in this, the person who's most excited about this, is Pastor Steve. And so he asked me if I would help him record a little bit of a video in which he'll answer some questions, expressing why it is that he's so excited about all that's happening and why he thinks that you should be too. So enjoy, take a listen to all that Pastor Steve has to say.
It's always good when you're having an experience of celebrating something like we are with the church plant, that you put the stake in the ground, so to speak, and say, this is the day it formally became the reality. We've been on the journey now for, 5-6 years, and I think in our discussions before we said, it's wonderful that it's even Reformation Day, where perhaps the church even realises that something new is happening, And so, but as a community, it's good that we do that. RMLC is celebrated, the district is celebrated, and people can say, when did it happen? 31st of October, 2021. I think it's good that we make that distinction, because if you're going to send somebody, you usually send them with a purpose. You send the kid down the street to get something from the shops. You said, this is what you got to do. You're doing it with purpose. You're not just meandering. And so when you're going to have a sending church, we're sending people with purpose. And the beautiful thing about that is, with God, there doesn't have to be any sense of loss. There could be more of a sense of learning. How did it go? What else could we learn? But I think if we're going to focus on the losing, there's a sad human component to that, and that's perhaps, and dare I say it, but it almost could come across as almost a selfish thing. By that I mean, what's in it for me? I'm losing something here. Or RMLC is losing something here. If you were to flip that on its head and go, wow, we're actually having a go here. This isn't losing. Let's flip that around and say, we're having a go at being a church that's really trying to get new people to meet Jesus. And so you take out of your vocabulary the sense of loss, and you inject into that the sense of excitement and purpose and direction. Well, because I have a desire to do that myself. You don't always get to do it, but I'm very comfortable in that space. So if I could be a pastor of a church that says that's what we want to do as our mission, that's how we want to serve God, is go and introduce people to Jesus, I feel very honoured. I feel quite proud, actually, can you say proud in a humble way? I don't know. But it's kind of strange that you want people to realise that there's more to just sitting in church on a Sunday, or there's a different way to serve. And the greatest way that we're going to serve is to help people to know Jesus. So to be part of a community and be pastor of a church that's absolutely having a go at that is exciting. It's always, you go with a bit of apprehension, we talk about giving birth to a child here, and you never know what the child's going to grow up to be or the experiences that they're going to have. But if they're telling people about Jesus, and if, they're on a journey that you'd like to think that God has not only preordained for us to walk down the path, but also to learn skills, to meet people that I won't meet, and some people in our church that we may never meet this side of heaven, and to think that we had a role in expanding God's kingdom. That's pretty cool, pretty exciting. if you feel this sense of loss, sometimes it's more from the human perspective, that it might be friendships or close contact, or even that could even be a bit of sadness that they're doing something that you're not, in a strange kind of way. And so they're all understandable. Absolutely they are. But again, let's come back to, this is not all about me as an individual thinking that. This is a bigger picture here. This is God at work through people that are prepared to have a go. Matt and Becca and the team, it's pretty exciting. So yeah, who knows? There'll be others, but what we can do as part of a community is to celebrate. If we hear stories of, keep, Bill and Mary in your prayers because they're just hearing about Jesus, or we're about to baptise them next week, put it in your newsletter. They're the stories that are going to go, that's why we're doing this. That we're, it's an interesting one, because there will always be people who will connect to an established church. I get that. I think there's also a aspect of each of those communities that they're already a known quantity. There's profile because of the time in existence and the people who are there. So there's something wonderful about that they will still continue. I think of perhaps the live streaming or the established ministries of home groups, or there's opportunity for splash and whatnot. But what we can do is keep doing them and doing them healthily, looking out for brothers and sisters in Christ. What the new community will do is to say, we're going to do that in our own unique way. But we as a parent church, giving birth to a daughter church, we don't know what that's going to look like. But if we say we want to be part of their nurture, their encouragement, their resourcing, their given opportunities, then that's RMLC's role in all of this. But because we're intimately involved, we get to do it firsthand. And I think that's pretty exciting. If I was to look back and say, well, we're around Australia, we've heard about, what's happening in Victoria or Queensland or something like that. But this is in our own backyard. This is part of our own household. This is the people that we rub shoulders with and walk the journey with Jesus with. So I reckon it's pretty amazing that we got a front seat in this, and I just want us as a community to celebrate the view that we get of this, that we'll see firsthand what God's up to. We've already seen it over the last 5 or 6 years on the journey with the workshops and the decisions as a church and all of that. So yeah, I reckon it's pretty amazing what we're part of. To think that this is the first time in WA district history that we've done that. Well, not the first time. If you look back at our history, both Rockingham and Mandurah are church plants. And so I think in one sense we're actually living out our history. It's just our turn in our generation. This all happened 20, 30, 40 years ago. It's our turn.